In today's video, we're going to be looking at ticker symbol DUOL, also known as Duolingo. They've had a huge earnings beat and also a new price target. And we're going to be looking at projections and an overall analysis of the stock. And then for MMTLP, we're going to be looking at only the potential resolution that could happen going forward, according to many opinions. So before we get started, let's have a look at what's happening in the market. So first of all, we can see here from CNBC, the Dow Jones is dropping 200 points as investors are waiting to trade deals which have not yet been announced, and the Fed decision is also up there in terms of a key thing. We can also see right now stocks are still trading near session lows, and Trump states with regard to Canada, nothing that Carney could say will lift the US tariffs on Canada. So that's not positive. We do need positive news there, but it's not yet come. And from a European point of view, we can see, according to the New York Times, in terms of Europe are now having a backlash against American goods, and perception of the United States with regard to Trump's trade war is prompting many Europeans to move away from US goods and services. So we do need a resolution on that. In terms of another announcement from Trump, that was with regard to 100% tariff on foreign movies. So obviously the emphasis being that let's focus on the US movie sector and see that grow. But what we can see here, the instant impact of that news on Netflix, it was down over 5%. So let's see how that develops. And finally, let's share with you some stock news shared in our Discord, and we can see here first of all what we looked at is Lemonade, ticker symbol LMND. That was up 7% on an earnings beat. We shared another earnings beat for DDOG, Datadog insider buys for SSNC, and we also have a new information from Trump just shared now, and that is he will be announcing a huge news outcome on Monday, but let's keep an eye out on Thursday or Friday if this gets through. So I'm hoping that this will be news with regard to tariff deals. Before we get started, I'd like to take 1 minute of your time to share details of the Trading Secrets Discord. This includes daily stock alerts shared in the pre-market, the weekly watches shared prior to trading on the Monday, the $1 Million Challenge, and much more. So we also have had some tremendous calls in the weekly watch list, as well as a daily stock alerts, and these include LEAS up over 152% on the week, DOMH up over 210% on the week, IGTI up over 77% on the week, and many more. We have a new channel called Top Ranked Stocks DD, and this includes PDF reports which you can download and use for research and due diligence. Obviously you can join us in live trading chat as well. We've just had a $2,000 Discord update which includes breaking news for stocks, including bio stocks, earnings, analyst ratings, Reddit news, why the stock is moving, and much more. And as well as that, you can join us in the famous $1 Million Challenge, where we look at compound return investing and 201 trades. And just a reminder of the power of compounding. If you have 1 cent, you double that for 30 days, you would have over $5 million, but we are using a strategy of just a 3.5% return. Let's start by having a look at ticker symbol DUOL, also known as Duolingo, and this was a stock that we featured with regard to a PDF due diligence report in our Discord in the Top Ranked Stocks DD channel, and we also shared in the Discord live was news with regard to a new price target, and from Morgan Stanley we can see they've raised their price target for Duolingo to $515 there, and there was also great news in terms of earnings, which we're going to look at shortly as well. But in terms of our overall profile, this is a company that operates as a mobile learning platform in the US. The company offers courses in 40 different languages, and obviously incorporated in 2011, headquartered in Pittsburgh with an IPO of 2021, trading under NASDAQ. So let's have a look at the performance in terms of the stock. Today it's down just over 1.5%, but if we have a look at the chart for the previous 5 days, we can see it is up a very impressive 26%, beating the whole market in terms of the S&P 500. And if we look at the year to date, again, significant beat on most of the market, up over 50%. So certainly doing exceptionally well, and we could see from an analyst rate point of view, it is a buy. So in terms of the financials, the revenue was 748 million. This was a staggering increase of 40.84% compared to the previous year's earnings, and earnings and worth $88.57 million with an increase of 451.28%, which I believe is going to be driving the stock price forward. So in terms of double-digit growth, let's have a look at how that is happening. So we can see a significant compound annual growth rate here. Sales is growing more than 30% annually. They're expected to grow sales on average for around about 20% plus for the coming years as well, and the market is growing, and that's certainly positive. If we have a look at the user growth, that is certainly wild. There is huge demand, and what we can see here, the company have got a compound annual growth rate of over 50% in terms of the chart there. So what we can see in terms of the demand, there is a strong secular demand. Many people are traveling, living, studying abroad, and this increases demand for local languages. People are also connecting via much more via social media, and there is now demand for second and third languages, especially with regard to the Gen Z and millennials. So language, I think, is certainly up there. And finally, in conclusion, it's a healthy business, no debt on its sheet, so that's positive. The growth rates are exceptional. It's benefiting from a strong secular demand that we've just seen. The margins are improving, and we believe that this should be on your watch list, and a much more detailed PDF file was also shared in Discord. So if you would like to get access to that, as well as many of the other stocks that we shared in the Top Ranked Stocks DD channel, join us in the Discord, information in description below. Let's now look at MMTLP. I'm going to start by sharing a post from Paul with regard to the Trump team and MMTLP, and what he states here: how do I know that the Trump team and Donald Trump know about MMTLP? No need to take my word for it. From a Trust Me Bro, he shared an excerpt from a space call February the 26th, 2025 with the special Trump insider by the name of Chad Caton. So let's have a look at an excerpt from the image that he shared in terms of a transcript from that space call. And what I've highlighted here is that the quotation here is that MMTLP is in their office. They're aware that you all exist. They also aware that Gary Gensler will refuse to do anything about that. Obviously he's gone now, and why don't they get a share count, which is a very simple thing that we've been asking for. MMTLP and the issues that you guys have been fighting for, the lives it's cost, and the unfair way that you've been treated by the Trump campaign. And he states here he was at the Mar-a-Lago, and he can tell you that that is a fact. So that's from Chad, and we can see it also goes on to say here, and I think they were a lot closer to the light at the end of the tunnel for MMTLP, so we have to see more developments on that. And near the end, it also states here where with regard to MMTLP, where it was brought to me, and this was through somebody with the Trump administration in COMS. So we have heard different statements confirming the same thing from other sources as well, but we've not had any official confirmation, which we are still waiting for. What David has stated in terms of the fires, he states not a single regulatory action has gone in our favour for the MMTLP, no progress, just a roadblock, and we're looking at a 99.6% fire denial rate. So we're looking at thousands and thousands and thousands of emails. We've actually had the Kennedy files released, which were considered to be less of a threat, but not the MMTLP so-called meme stock, as some people call it. So this denial rate is probably one of the highest I've seen, and all it is just to say what was the share count, what happened, what was the reason for the U3 halt, and obviously much more obvious than this is that needs to be action. And then finally, shout out here to Craig, who stated that we all unanimously agree that a potential resolution lies with Nextbridge Hydrocarbons, Greg McCabe, and not us. So it has to come from him. He has to make the moves. He's the one with the information. He's the one with the knowledge, and he's the one with the power to make that happen if he can. And our focus as the investors remains on applying pressure, raising awareness, seeking answers from the start. And after 2.5 years of this fiasco, many people are now sick. Obviously it's a case of I think most people are still of the opinion that we should not give up. And finally, if you would like to join us in our Discord, get a copy of our weekly watch list as well as a daily stock alerts. Details are in the description below. Thank you very much for watching. Please stay tuned.